All right, we're back with our second segment of Community Tapestry, and if by chance you're just joining us, my name is Napoleon Bell. I'm the Executive Director with the City of Columbus Community Relations Commission, and we've got Toni Teague, we're the co-host here, making things happen.
Yeah.
And we have got some incredible guests here today.
These are some real heartwarming stories, and I just think the random acts of kindness of others, the generosity of others is just... I think it's all I can do to keep my eyes dry on this set today.
Right. Incredible.
So back to you, Hazel. Before we took the break, we were talking about going through that process of deciding to donate a kidney, and we want to lead back in with the next question of, okay, so you've now told your ex-husband, you've told your children, you've told your mom, and you're also going through some testing. Can you tell us about the process of testing and what a potential donor, a potential live donor would be expected to do?
We have to go through a series of blood testing. I mean, they check you for everything. I mean, every disease possible, everything, and make sure, your health is 100%. So, which mine was, so.
That's good. All that praying time in the garden paid off.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
How many tests and how many weeks did it take from the time you started testing?
It probably took about, I don't know.
It was actually months. It's not just go in and have a few tests. It actually takes a few months or longer to go through the different steps. And then you have to go through sitting down and kind of go through counseling too, to make sure, well, she did, to make sure, is this something, do you want to really do this? Are you going to be okay with it? Things like that.
Well,
so not just physical, but mental.
Yeah, that leads me to, that's a great point, because sometimes you really don't think about, that you need to go through counseling on this. And my thought is, now you're down to one kidney, and so I'm thinking, well, if this last kidney goes out, I'm in the same, predicament. Yeah. So did that ever go through your head of, should I really do this because now I'm down to one?
Right. Well, they reassured me that that if anything happened to my kidney, I'd be on the top of the list as a donor. So that they reassured me on that. So.
Okay.
That's, I didn't have no second thoughts.
Okay.
So it's not just about being the right blood match. Your blood type is what?
A positive.
A positive. So you have A positive, and there was a lot more to it than just, I have the same blood type.
Yeah, they checked you for everything. They checked my kidney function, make sure all my organs and everything were working right, and all, everything was 100%.
So were you having some anguish or anything during those months of testing? I mean, because it's one thing to hear that someone wants to be your donor, and yes, we have the same blood type, but then it's, it was months before you got to have the surgery. Yeah.
I'm not normally a patient person too well.
No.
But I had to put my little bit of patience on it, because the not knowing, and then, excuse me, it's the not knowing, like you said, but then it's like, okay, I don't want to have to go through all this again. Is this all going to be fine? All the tests kept saying it was going to be fine, and I kept saying, okay, is this the last one? We done now? We done now? No, we have to do that, because they also have to test things like, your tissue makeup to make sure that my tissue will connect with the kidney and those kind of things. So there is a lot involved in it, but it was a little bit of anguish for me. I was excited and so happy and relieved in a sense, but then I had to remind myself, do not get too excited. As much as I wanted to, I just,
Do you ever get to a point, because you talked about the tissue mapping, and I see on TV, but people talk about the potential for rejection of another organ. So when talking to you, was there a point where you go, okay, I've reached milestone 1 year or whatever, so the potential for a rejection of this kidney, is there something like that, or is it something that is always in your mind?
It's always in my mind because it is a possibility at any time. You know, it could have been the very first day. Could be 20 years from now. There is no specific guarantee. I have heard statistics where they say that average is maybe 5 years or so. But then there's tons of people that have had kidneys for a very, really long time.
Okay.
So I know it's a possibility, but I don't dwell on it.
All right.
Wow.
You
So
know?
living your life.
Exactly. I was given another chance, so
And here you are.
here I am.
All
Just,
right.
and just for the viewing audience's benefit, if you see me ribbing Jean, it's because she and I have been personal friends for many years, and our children went to school together. So, yeah, I'm giving her those ribs because I know her. And it also looks like we have a call on the air. Caller, will you go ahead with your comment or your question?
Yes, my name's Alberta. I'm Hazel's sister.
Oh.
Go ahead with your comment or question.
And I just want to tell her, that I'm really proud that she gave her kidney to help Jean. And I love her very much. And I'm glad that Jean's doing good. And I'm glad that she has the kidneys.
Do you need tissue?
And I love you, sis.
You can respond to it.
Thank you so much, Alberta.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Thank you.
Bye.
See, and I mean that just really shows that the family is surrounding you with love,
Yeah.
and to get through this, and not just for you, but I'm sure for everyone here involved. So that's great to see.
Yeah.
Great to see.
How are you, Devin?
I'm good.
You good? That's amazing. So I want to keep talking with you so the viewing audience can better understand the process of, start to where we are now. So you had the testing done, you decided, and it came back that, you're a good match, and that was great. So what was the day of surgery like?
Well,
That's
in
what
all
I asked both of you.
That's what I want
right. In all honesty, what I remember of the day of surgery, that's all. I'm going to say that only because they did start giving me medication, obviously before surgery. I know when I woke up that morning, I was excited, but so terrified. And I kept praying, okay, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. I had a little chat with my kids, and said, it's all going to be good, but just in case. I didn't want to do that, but then I thought, I wouldn't feel right if I didn't prepare them for possibilities. But that only lasted a very short time because for some reason I was like, let's do this. After I got over the nervousness, when I first woke up, I was scared to death. As the morning went on, I was like, oh, let's do this. Okay. I remember getting there, and we didn't see Hazel right away because they had her in a separate area, getting ready and putting her in her own room, and we were put in a room first. And then they started giving me medication, of course, to calm me down a little bit and to get me to the point where I was going to be prepared. And I remember I was like, I have to go see Hazel. So I walked over, and all her family was there, which was great to see that she had that much support from her family, and she knew that she wasn't alone in it. And I just gave her a big hug and kissed and told her I loved her, and it was the best thing she could ever do. That's pretty much what I remember from the day of surgery. Yeah.
Thanks, Jean.
I mean, I'm just...
That's good recollection, though. I mean, I think you did great. Thank you.
Now, what about on the flip side?
What was it like for you, Deb?
I was excited when we got there because it was going to be a day of change. But at the same time, I was pacing around and kind of nervous and scared. Didn't know what was going to go on because you never know what could happen. But I was excited because it was a good day.
What was Amy doing?
talking a lot. Trying to
She
hide
was
her-
trying to keep your mind, off of things.
She does that when she's nervous.
Yeah, she talks.
Amy talks and you get quiet. Is that
Right.
what happened? Right.
Well, and Hazel, what about you? I mean, what was the preparation going on over there, and what was going through your mind?
Well, I was a little nervous and a little worried, because that was a major surgery, and but having my family there made it a lot easier, because they gave me a lot of support, and but the day when we went in for admission, Jean's daughter Amy, she gave me a hug and said thank you for saving my mom's life, and then that touched my heart. It really did, because I have 2 children of my own, and so I didn't have no second thoughts at all of not doing the surgery. So, but I'm just thankful that my family was there and God was there with me. So.
Wow, that's really great. So how long does it take you to recover? Did you both have the same recovery time, or was it different?
It was different. Mine was 4 to 6 weeks, and I think I was back to work. I think the 4th or 5th week maybe, or something. I don't know. It might have been 6 weeks.
How about you, Jean?
My recovery time was 10 weeks. I actually was probably okay to go back to work close to about the 9th week, but the doctor wanted me to wait, so I went back at my 10th week of being off. But just a little side note on that about the recovery. After I was coming off of the sedation medications and all that stuff, probably within 2 days, I was absolutely amazed at the amount of energy that I had. And I was like, wow, are you kidding? This is how I used to feel, because I went for years with being so tired. And I remember being in the hospital, because I was in the hospital for a week. And that's normal, just to make sure, everything's going good. But I remember just saying, okay, I got to get out of here. Okay, I can't. And then I'm like, no, you can't really move. You can only get up for a second. You can only walk this far. And then when I was at home recuperating, I wanted to keep cleaning the house. I wanted to do all these things, and I couldn't. But, the recuperating time was, for me, I went back to work at 10 weeks. And then I still had to be a little bit careful, and I'm not overdoing it too much.
Did she overdo it, Devin? Did she overdo the recovery, or was she okay when she got home?
She was okay.
Good. I'm glad.
She was just telling you what to do. She's like, okay, go do this. Okay, I can't move, so you got to go do this.
That's always, though.
Good. That means she's a strong, good mom. Yay.
All right. Well, now you guys are, you're back and you're through the recovery part. And so what are there, some restrictions, if any restrictions? I know some people say, well, can you drink?
Can you
And, can you do this? You've only got one kidney now, or if you drink, do you get intoxicated quicker? Or, but what type of things can't you do, or are they saying? And it might be different because you're the donor and the recipient, but what now can you do and can you not do because of the surgery, if anything?
Well, I know we're not allowed to take Advil. We have to watch what medications we take. Like, the only thing that they told us that we're allowed to take is like Tylenol or aspirin. So, so we have to watch what medication we take and stuff.
Okay.
But they said you can drink.
Not that you drink.
Not you drink.
No.
Yeah.
But we're just wondering in general with any with anybody. So and that goes for both of you.
Yeah. With me, I have to take anti-rejection medications.
Okay. Okay.
So I absolutely have to stay away from grapefruit juice or any kind, because it will break down the medication a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So that's the one absolute thing that I absolutely can't have. I can pretty much have anything I want now. I should still have like low sodium things.
Mm-hmm.
As far as drinking,
Drum
no,
roll.
I don't drink. I was told that I could have maybe one glass of something here or there, you know, but I'm not a drinker, so I don't. I drink lots of water all the time.
Okay. So pops and things are good, not
You
a
can
problem.
drink Coca-Cola or Pepsi if you want to.
I could,
Not a
but I wouldn't want to because I know really that's not really great on you anyway.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you that. I mean, you know, so you've gone through the surgery and you're so aware now of your body, and have you turned into maybe like a health nut in a sense? I mean, some people, you know, it's like, okay, I've got to make sure all the proper things go in my body, and I don't want things to be, you know, messed up or what have you. Has that been the case, or it's like, okay, I'm good. I'm, you know, these couple restrictions, but other than that, I'm going like normal.
In the very beginning, the first thing I had to do was because I was on extreme restrictions on dialysis. I had a piece of chocolate cake, I had pizza, and I had a Pepsi. That was the first thing when I got home I said I wanted, and that's what I had.
Everyone's shaking his head, he's like, yeah,
That's what I had.
did it. And it was a whole pizza is what she had.
Was it tomatoes?
For me, I'm trying to get better. In the very beginning, I think, because I had such strong restrictions on dialysis, that I was like, okay, I can eat that and not have to worry that it's going to throw my levels of potassium or whatever else out of whack. So for a little while, I wasn't really doing that good, but now I'm doing better, realizing, okay, you know, you need to maintain the health here, and you know, so, but it does make you aware of that, and it makes you aware of things that you do here. I know since I was on dialysis, and I actually would like to say this for people to know, when Hazel was talking about Advil, those are damaging to your kidneys.
Under normal circumstances, you're saying?
If you take one here or there, that really doesn't do anything. But from what I've been told, and it's just statistics that are out there, if you take them every single day, those are medications that can do damage to certain organs. Diabetes and high blood pressure are the main reason why people are on dialysis. I mean, there's other reasons of other illnesses and side effects and
Did
all
you have
that.
diabetes or high blood pressure?
I had high blood pressure. Well, I still have to deal with high blood pressure, and that's why I need to try to stay away from high sodium. But that was, excuse me, the thing that pushed my kidneys
To the
over
limit.
over the edge, so to say, to that point. So
It sounds like your advice to people is when you're not feeling well, you know, always go to the doctor and to make sure that you get your checkups to stay on top of it. There's even more to the story, and you were telling us in the green room a little bit about potential, you know, there were things that happened financially because you were sick for a long time, and did it impact your ability to work?
when I was sick, yes, because there was times when my dialysis port or my shunt in my arm, you know, shut down, so I would have to dialyze. So they would have to put me in the hospital and do other ways for me to be able to do that because, you know, you have to have dialysis to function. So when we were out on my leaves a lot, of course I had diminished income. I had lower income because I might have taken disability, or I only had a certain amount of vacation I could use, and then when that was done I had to start using the disability. The way our disability was I'm not going to say the percents and all that because I'm really not sure how much they want to know of the company, you know what I mean? But you get a certain percent of what your income was. Out of that certain percent, even though it was drastically lower, you still then had to, if you wanted to carry your insurance, you had to then pay your health insurance out of that to continue it while you're out. So, you know, your income could be basically cut in half or more.
Which adds to the stress because you had still 2 children to take care of and to, you know, living on half your income.
Yeah, I did go through a lot of financial problems and things that happened, and you know.
But we're glad that you're here, you know, and much healthier.
Yeah.
And that's great. And I'm sure, you know, Devin is ecstatic, you know, about that. And let me just go to you real quickly, Devin. You know, I'm sure there's probably another young person out there that their parent is going through the same thing and their family is going through the same thing. like you did with your mom. What advice would you give those young persons on, how to deal with that or how to be able to relate to what's going on?
I would tell them to be strong and be positive at all times, because it's going to be hard, but you just got to think positive and stay strong, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's amazing, and also when you have good friends around you too. Yeah. I guess that helps. I mean, did you have that really good friend, or
that I could always talk to?
I'd say girlfriend, and but that you could talk to.
Yeah, I had a good friend I could talk to all the time and talk about it without trying to have an ego or anything. Mm-hmm. Just talk to all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Did you feel like, because a lot of times, when you don't have a parent that can be really active, especially, because your mom's a single mom, it's easy to get drug, it's easy to associate with the wrong crowd and start, doing some things to act out. What kept you from doing that?
Sports. Definitely sports.
Mm.
That's a plus.
Yeah.
That's a plus. Because
thank you, coaches, and thank you, school community,
for
keeping Devin safe and under your wing.
Right, because we talk so much. I mean, this show has everything that we try to talk about, especially with our young people and doing great things. Mm-hmm. And I think that you're a role model to so many other young persons out there to like you talk about, standing strong and helping out around the house when that needs to be done. But also, and most importantly, through all these struggles, you're in school. And you're doing the right thing in school and staying active in school, and then we have,
and don't stop,
a superhero over here also, giving the gift of life, when you don't really have to, but this is something that you've chosen to do for somebody that you really didn't know, so I think, it's just amazing of what we have here, and then we have, the product of all this love and work, to have you here, so glad to have met all of you, and to know that we have people like yourselves out there in our community.
Yeah, I know this is public access television, but I really want to say amen. Yeah. Jean, you said in the video something that really touched me, and I think it was hard for us all to keep dry eyes during that conversation. And you said that it was difficult for you to recognize that, that you felt loved enough or that God would do this for you. And how do you feel now, having come out of this? What did Hazel's gift do for your self-esteem, and what did Devin and Amy's love and the love of your community, what has that done for you as a person?
It made my faith even stronger. In all honesty, too. It's made me realize that I'm here for a reason, whatever that reason may be. I may not be an actress, I may not be famous, but I'm here for a reason, whether it's to be a good mom, whether it's to do good at my job. I'm here just like everybody else is here for a reason. And God must have said, okay, this is not her time.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we're glad that it says it's not your time.
Thank you.
It is. That's a big plus.
That's right.
But and just listening to this, I'm still trying to relate in a sense of what you went through, but then also kind of now. Let me ask you, Hazel, because I always wanted to ask this. Through our listening to this, we talk about what we're eating and those type of things. So Hazel, you said you've given a kidney. So when you're at work and you guys are two at work and you see her go to eat, you go, wait a minute, oh no, you're not going to eat that. You got my kidney. No, you're not going to do that. Is there that, you guys kind of go back and forth on that? And maybe it's jokingly,
No.
but is that a thing to help keep you guys in track?
No, we don't do that. What's funny is I've been called having favoritism sometimes for her at work. I'm like,
well, duh.
Oh, of course. Seriously?
You should.
The biggest thing that we all kind of joke around about is that if somebody's picking on me, just because we pick all the time at work, I'll say, hey, hold on. This is not just me you're picking on now. This is Hazel. Remember that sweet little angel Hazel. So, that's how we kind of keep it fun at work.
Right. So that begrudgingly, okay, Mean Jean.
Right.
Okay.
It pretty much does.
Right.
Yeah, they usually go, oh, okay.
But you became nice, Jean, after that. You're not mean, Jean, anymore.
I never was mean.
Thank you very much. Don't talk about my friend. Wow. Well,
Exactly.
I'd certainly like to say thank you to all three of our guests, to Jean, to Devin, to Hazel. And Hazel, thank you so much for growing those big, strong wings to donate the gift of life. Devin, thank you so much for being such a great son and a great brother and member of our community. I'm sure that Columbus State is glad to have you, and I encourage you to stay in school and let life take you wherever it will. And Jane, I'm just glad you're here. You are
Thank
my
you.
friend, and I love you
Yes.
dearly.
I love you too.
So I think we have to go to Home Depot and
Yeah.
really have a little party there. And which Home Depot is this on the west side?
It's on Renner. It's
On
no, I'm
Renner
sorry. It's
Road.
on Renner Road.
Renner Road.
On
Yeah,
Grenner
Renner
Road. Yeah, we gotta go out there and have a little party.
Get off at
Yeah.
exit 7B
There
on
you go.
270, and it's right there on your left side. It's by the new casino. Go gamble and then improve your
Right.
house with all your winnings.
There you go. There you go. Exactly. Well, and we appreciate Home Depot for every, I mean, it sounds like
Yeah.
they, really
care
gathered
about the
around you.
community a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, and thank you also to Home Depot for giving us the permission to tape inside their store. It was they were very responsive and wonderful to work with. So thank you.
All right. Well, looks like our time is up, and so we've
Another
ended
great
this great program, and we want to thank our guests once again for being here, and you will not be forgotten, believe me. And we'd like to thank our viewing audience for tuning in to the program, because we have had such a great conversation here, and we hope that you've learned something, but also see that we have those angels in the wings, which you never know, who might be right next to you, ready to give the gift of life. So my name is Napoleon Bell,
I'm Toni Teague.
and thank you so much for being a part of this show, and we will see you next time here at Community Tapestry on CTV. I get it right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.